Da-da-da. Hello. It's time for a stream. It's Friday. No video today because I'm behind on things. Last week was really crazy, so hence the stream. Hello. How's it going? I'm extremely tired today. I don't know that you can tell because the setup's always the same, but it's dark and gloomy here in PA, which isn't normal because we live in a place that rains like 75% of the year or something. Yeah, Friday, hooray. I'm so tired. I did not sleep well. Well, last night we were playing in the West Marches last night and my game ran over, which is not surprising, but I'm a little disappointed in myself because I was like, oh, there's no way. And I was doing really well with some of my other West Marches. That was like the fifth one I've run, I think. Fourth or fifth, I can't remember. And up until this point, I've not had that many go over, which is pretty good. I'm proud of myself. I don't know if that means I'm getting better at estimating how long things take or what. I also this is Friday, so we're gonna ramble a lot today. I also feel like I've learned so much already about the West Marches because it's like really different mentality going in as a GM. I still spend ungodly amounts of time prepping things, not like in a negative way. I actually really enjoy doing that. I like adding little details and like trying to, drop some hints on other quests and see what they like pick up and what they end up following and stuff. But I feel like because there are so many people and there's so many, like every player can have up to 3 characters. And like in a normal campaign, right, you have a party. This is a very off topic kind of ramble, but you have a party and you have like 5 people, 6 people, and they have the same character every session. And so you learn those classes and you learn those characters with your players. Well, in this particular instance, like I have to know everything about every class and character. And now, like, yes, I'm a DM. Shouldn't you know all the rules? Sure, I should. There's a key word in that sentence. I'm not very good at like memorizing all these things, and I will remember certain aspects vaguely. I mean, there's a whole like slew of things. Yeah, I don't know. There's too many rules to remember. I can't remember every nitty gritty of every spell and every class feature. So, what is our West Marches? You need to go look that up. That could be a whole like 3-hour conversation, but essentially it's a hex crawl, but you have unlimited number of GMs, unlimited number of players, and an empty expansive map that you just let your players roam in. There's no overarching campaign. There is in mine. There's some things happening in the background, whether players know it or not. But yeah, you type it into Google, find Matt Colville's video, and you will. He explains everything. But I'm not the first one to come up with this. I've DM'd for so many years, and I don't know all the rules. Look, I don't think it matters how long you've DM'd. There are some people who just have like. That's the other thing. There are some players who have like encyclopedic like knowledge of the rules, and I'm like, I don't know how you get to that point. I've been playing for 7 years. I don't know, 7 years? No, longer. Ew, let's not talk about it. Ew, it's 2025. Oh, gross. This is an incredibly rich game. Yes, it is. It really is. But anyway, we're not here to talk about my West Marches experience. We are here to do some Foundry stuff, some tutorials. That's really just a side topic. I don't know if you guys have things you're interested in me running through on Foundry, we could talk about those things too. So you can drop questions down below. But we're going to show, because I, especially now with the West Marches stuff, been encountering things where I'm like, I wish this was on the map. And it's not. So I've been making a lot of tiles. And I asked around, and a lot of people are like, why don't you use like Moulinette or whatever? And I am one of those people. I don't know about anybody else. But I, for one, the biggest reason I went with Foundry however many years ago, in 2020, was because it didn't have a subscription. So I don't want anything that requires me to have a subscription because that kind of negates the whole point of using Foundry for me, you know? So I have pretty much just avoided all subscription-based things that I can. I do host it in the cloud, which you can do for free in Oracle Cloud if you have one server. But because I'm running the West Marches campaign and I have like a player-facing server, then I have my personal server, then I have one for the GMs. I did have to pay for that, but it's like a couple bucks a month, and it's tiny. You know, it's not. How much is it for Roll20 now? Does anybody know? Is it still like $30 a month or something ridiculous? Or am I mixing it up? I'm not looking it up because I don't want them to start advertising to me. But anyway, so that's part of the reason why I just don't I don't want to do Moulinet. So I make my own tiles for Foundry. Hello, welcome. It's a very rambly stream. I hope that's okay. Learning Foundry is intimidating as hell. One day though, I'll run my games on there. It is and it isn't. I have a whole video for you. You can get set up in like an hour. Depends on the tier for Roll20. I think I pay yearly and it's like 6 to 8 a month. But then multiply that by like 12. You see? You could pay $50 for Foundry and then you're done. I haven't paid for Foundry, you know, well, I paid recently because I had to buy stuff I bought 2 more licenses for the West Marches. So technically I've spent $150, but for my purposes that is necessary. I was literally just using your player landing page video. Yeah, I actually have a new landing page I wanted to put up. Actually, I could maybe show you guys. You're switching over to Foundry. Good luck. It's hard at first. There's a learning curve for sure. Oh, just started watching my videos. I love it. That's why they're there. It's not the only thing I make, but that's the stuff that people find me with is the Foundry stuff, which is perfectly fine because I like Foundry and I use it a lot. Foundry is way better and way more premium. It is, but it also doesn't have to be. So some people are like, it's way too complicated. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to have any modules. You can run pretty much anything on there. You should add the Dice So Nice one because are you mad? You need dice. But you really don't need any other module. And even that one is just, you know, to make it look like you're rolling dice. But yeah, so I'm going to show how to make some tiles. So the thing that I have encountered a lot is I have a map. Most of the time I make my own maps, which is also bad. You don't have to make your own maps. I have to remind myself that a lot. But a lot of times I have a map and I'm like, I need this to happen on this map. And I didn't put it in there and I don't want to boot up DungeonDraft, put that in, re-export it, re-import it. I just want to slap the items on there. And I now have a whole slew of different tiles that I've already made for this kind of thing. I have been using Foundry for about 3 years, I think. I've been using it since 2020, so that would be 5 years. That's an easy way to count. It's changed a lot. Even in 3 years, it's changed a lot. But yeah, so let's look at what I'm talking about, right? Okay. Well, let me change some things. Please, yes. Please drop lots of things in the comments. Talk to me. I don't get to talk to people. I work from home and I have no employees. So it's just me and my boss. Man, she's kind of a jerk. Definitely a slave driver. It's funny because the boss is me. Okay, let's look at my screen. I know how to stream, totally. This one. Hey. So this is my personal Foundry. You're gonna have to, it's still set up from the game I had last night. Yeah, don't laugh. She's a slave driver. I don't get any time off. But anyway, so this is my Foundry. This is one of my, a different landing page. I have another one that I want to add. I might sell for a couple bucks because I put some time into it. But let's look at this lumber mill because this is what, this is kind of the idea I'm talking about. So I was making this, again, Please ignore the mess that my players have left this place in. But I was making this map. I made this. It's not the best map. It's not horrible, but it's not the best map. And that's perfectly fine. But I was like, well, I trapped this door. I put a trap on this door. I'm not going to tell anybody else about what this trap does. If you want to know, you'll have to ask some of my West Marches players from last night. But also, I want to reuse this trap because it was hilarious to me. But anyway, so I trapped this door, and I was like, well, there's a door here, right? This front, where's my finger? Here you go. My front doors over here also, you know, they could get in and then just bypass the trap, and I want them to trigger the trap. Like, I'll put it here for a reason. So I was like, well, I could just lock it, right? Sure. But then they also have a rogue. And I was like, well, they just pick the lock and then they'll get in. Like, you know, that kind of defeats the purpose. And yes, I know they could have, like, you know, investigated and, like, checked out and see if this was a trap. They didn't, to someone's unfortunate almost end. I don't think it killed him, but he did get a beating. But I was like, I wanna force them to go through this door, okay? And if I were a goblin, this was goblins. Although I guess goblins aren't very smart, so maybe, well, I am a dice goblin technically, but anyway, if I were a goblin, I probably would, you know, use traps to my advantage because I'm small and, you know, kind of smart sometimes. I feel like goblin traps are a thing in D&D. Is it a trope? I don't know. You guys tell me. But anyway, so I was like, I want to put furniture against this door. And I was like, well, originally, let me show you. Originally, there was no furniture here. It was just like this. So I was like, well, now I need to create a tile. But I was like, I don't want to re-import this because when I use DungeonDraft, and I don't know if anybody else has this issue, whenever I import using the Universal Battle Map importer, it like doesn't recognize windows and it frustrates me. And to me, it's easier for me to just draw out the walls than to reconfigure all the windows because you have to click just as much and I could just draw it instead. So typically what I do is I just redraw the walls. So I was like, I don't want to redraw the walls just to put a bunch of furniture in here. So I made some tiles and I have like a lot of tiles now, I feel like. I also added tiles for this. This is a trap I added as well, just some oil. They didn't trigger it because they came down the cliff, which was what I expected. So there's that, but I was like, this one's even a little like transparent so you can kind of see through it. But I was like, I just always need a lot of these random things. I think this is also a tile under here. I have to move this journal entry though. Get out of here. Yeah, see, this is a tile. Oh, it's locked. So there we go. So like that's a tile too. I'm gonna put this chest wherever I want. So here's how you make tiles. It's really easy. So you just need a PNG, and you can, if you have DungeonDraft, again, I'm a big, I like all my maps to match. So I typically always use DungeonDraft, and I also use just like basic assets. So, because I like to have that feel, like I like everything to feel the same, which is also why somebody recommended, what is it? Forgotten Adventures. Don't they have they have like a whole bunch of tile assets, some of which are like free. Like they have lots of free ones. And I looked at them and they're fine. And I could use them, but they don't match perfectly. And this is where everything in my life gets complicated. But they don't match perfectly. So I notice, and I'm sure players would never notice. But I also have a hard time filtering through them, which is when someone else is like, you should use, it's French, moulinette. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Have you looked at Dungeon Painter Studio before? I have not. I don't even know what that is. You'll have to elaborate. But yeah, so I was like, I'll just make it. So let's open up DungeonDraft. So here's my oil spill. So honestly, this is just a basic like blank map. You just set it up. I don't even know what size it is. Well, we'll never know. It's not very big because you don't really need that much room, and we'll even crop it a little bit more. You want to turn off the terrain, which I don't remember how I did that, honestly. It's, I think, under here. Map settings. Yeah. Maybe? Oh, maybe not. So much for a good tutorial here. You have to kind of know what you're doing. But yeah, I turned off terrain. It might just be in when you go to preferences and stuff. This tells you all right, whatever. You have to turn off terrain. I'll look it up later. I'll share it with you guys. But you can turn off grid and stuff. It doesn't really matter. I leave it on because it's easier to see how big something is, because otherwise you don't have anything. Is DungeonDraft one-time payment? It is. It's only 20. It was only $20, but again, I've had it for like 5 years, so I don't know. But yeah, so you just put your stuff on here. Is it still $20? See, DungeonDraft still $20. And a lot of people make asset packs for it. I think I have some on here. So like here's a bunch of asset packs. Scrance is big. They have a lot of free stuff and it kind of matches the aesthetic. So highly recommend. I did buy some because I had bought the licensing for them for some of these so that I could sell maps. But you don't have to do that. Anyway, so yeah, we're just gonna, so say we want, I'm gonna delete these things. Say you want, I don't know, what do we, more barricades or something. You can just go in here, find whatever, or like animal or something. I don't know that I ever need animals, but that or chests or traps. I know they have traps in here though. So let's do that. Here we go. So say you want to like, I don't know, put this bear trap. We should put some meat on it or something too. Hold on. We'll bait the trap. Food. There we go. We'll put a little bit of meat on here. All right, so we've got a trap. We've baited it. You can go ahead and put whatever you're looking for. So for that one, I put a pile of furniture on top of each other. I've done just an empty chest here. I'll show you. I've done a boat and I split the boat in half at one point. That was kind of hard. And then, I don't know. I've done lots of it's mostly for traps and things. That's normally what it is. But we have this here, so you can go ahead and go to export at the top here. And one of the things too, I'm going to move it to the side just a little bit. Down here, you're going to see it says crop. So you kind of want to crop this, especially since it's like one tile. So if I hit that button, it makes this little box go kind of translucent. And then you can just crop around that item. And you see this little box, everything inside the box is what we'll export. You could do WebP. I'm going to do PNG just because I'll know it'll be transparent. And then I don't need a grid on it. I don't really need lighting because this is a tile. So you want to turn those both off and then you just hit export and it'll put it in my tiles. I'm going to put bear trap meat in case I ever make one that's not with meat. Hey, alrighty. So there's that. Now we'll go to my map. I don't know where we're gonna put this. I guess we'll just put it over here. But here's the tile. So the left-hand side, you know, that's all your tile controls, your token controls, your journal entries, etc., etc. So if you go over here, the third one down, if you hover, it'll say tile controls. So you could draw it out and then upload it. To me, then it can get distorted and weird. So I don't usually do that. I usually go to the tile browser and I import it and I put it in my tile. Oh yeah, see, I added mushrooms at one point. Yeah, all sorts of stuff. Oh yeah, refuse, because I was like, this place is dirty. How do I make it look dirtier? So I've done that too. But anyway, I don't think this is the correct folder, honestly. But where am I? Go to tiles. Yeah, here's a camp. I got a corpse here. You know, random things. A lot of random things. A fallen tree. That was a thing that happened. But here's our bear trap. Import it. Now you can literally click it, drag it, and drop it here. This is not like rocket science. There you go. And you can put it wherever you want. Now, if you want to resize it, so if you use this, it'll like, you see how it gets all distorted and stuff? If you hold Alt, it'll lock the proportions. So it's not distorted. It took me forever to learn that. For like years, I was like, why can't I just make it stay? Hold Alt. Alt, click and drag, and you can keep the proportions. And yeah, there you go. It's real easy. Sometimes I'll get fancy with it and like I'll put shadows or whatever on it to make the item really work. But yeah, bam. That was like a 10-minute tutorial. Actually, it was like more like a 5-minute tutorial. I just rambled a lot. I also have things like this campsite even. Again, just ignore everybody. But I think this is a tile. But I didn't crop it, so then you just have this whole extra space here. There's a lot of dead things. There were twig blights here. Have you guys seen the new twig blight artwork? It's real cute. Hold on. I like it. Look at it. He's cute. Kind of looks like a dog in this one. Like a furry dog. But anyway. There we go. Easy peasy tutorial. You're welcome for the answers. DungeonDraft is my fave by far. I've been using it the most. I know there's other ones. What is WonderDraft? Is that one that people use? I think that one also can do like more region maps. This one, you can't really do region maps, but most of the time I need dungeon maps anyway. So it's not a big deal for me. I do have extra asset packs. I love a good path. Like they have a lot of this path tool. I like a good path. My friend got Dungeon Alchemist. I'm not sure. Is that a... Wait, I use one from Steam called Dungeon Alchemist. Is that a map maker? I'll have to look it up at some point. I'll write it down. But yeah, I also am just familiar with this one now. So now it's like, it's my go-to. You know, I don't want to have to relearn a whole software. Yeah. That's also how I make most of my landing pages. I don't know, is with these tiles and things. Like this. This is all tiles. You know? Oh, it's locked. You can lock anything so you don't accidentally move it, but there's a tile. It's just an image. I'm warning you now, you might become addicted to Dungeon Alchemist. I mean, map making in general, I'm already addicted to, so, you know, there's that. Yeah. That wasn't a super long thing. Maybe it's better now. Was Dungeon Alchemist not good originally? How long has it been around? All the questions. Anything else you guys want to see? I mean, that was really quick. Just about tiles. I also had a bridge one at one point. I should show you guys that one at one point, I think. Go to the practice yard. I'll put it. The cool thing about using tiles too is that you can, if you have Monk's active tile token, then you can do cool things with it. When it first came out, it was limited. Now it has a lot of things. I mean, that's how development usually goes, I guess. Let's pull out this bridge. I don't think it's on here. I had this little setup where I blew up a bridge one time. Here's my bridge. Here's the broken bridge. So what I did, oops, I locked it, didn't I? Yeah, you're dumb. What I did was I had the one blow up. You're welcome. Have a good one. So I had the bridge blow up. I even had it play a sound. I think there's a whole tutorial on that one. So that was fun too. I also, on the Remnant Foundry, hold on, let me show you. Look at my face for a minute. Let me log into my other one. It was very limited, but good for people that aren't quite as creative or maybe don't have the time to do much. Yes, map making can take a long time. That's my Achilles heel. Because I'm like, oh, I'll just make a map real quick, but it's never real quick. It's always like, oh, put 4 hours into this for a map that they'll be on for like 30 minutes. It's fine. I enjoy map making though. It's kind of like a creative outlet, you know? So this is, here we go. This is a Remnant Foundry. So if you're in the West Marches campaign, you'll recognize this baby. Don't touch things I don't want to show you. But on Brighthammer Hall, I actually put Archie here. I guess he's guilty, apparently. But this is all a tile. Because I was like, well, everybody was trying to put their tokens on the landing page because he's here. Even though I set it to infinite, for some reason, item piles wasn't working for me. And it like did not, people weren't able to buy from him here. So I put him over here, but I was like, well, now he's just standing out in the open. Like, kind of looks lame. So I did this. Do you use the Monster Maker module? It seems super cool, but I don't quite understand if it directly gives the characters their appropriate AC, etc., and giving them items is just for looting purposes. I don't know what the Monster Maker module is, so I am unsure what your question is. It directly gives characters their appropriate AC, etc. I mean, most likely it doesn't. It's, I don't know, everything in here is, if it's not in the SRD, it's a pretty manual process to like edit AC and stuff. So I get so into it, aka map making, end up doing way more than I intended, same. And then I've been that way. I'm sorry, I lost track of where I was. I've been that way going all the way back to when I used to mess around with RPG Maker. Oh, yes, that's a long time ago. Yeah, sorry, I don't use that module. I mean, I can look into it, but I would be starting at the same point as you. I recommend going to the Foundry Discord. They're very helpful there. So they can... Usually, they have a lot of devs on there too, so maybe you can even talk to the dev directly. So yeah, that's all I had today. I know that was really short. Hopefully, I mean, we're all just chilling. It's a Friday. You can tell I'm really tired. I was like running this game last night, and I was like, oh no, I'm like, my brain's not all here. Everybody's gonna die, or I'm just not gonna be able to like describe. I just didn't describe things well. You know, like, not that you have to be the perfect DM every time, but it's just like, I feel like the whole point is to elaborate, especially for players who don't always elaborate. So I like to kind of go into more detail for that. But yeah. that's pretty much it. I think we might call it quits early. Oh, I actually came to ask a question. Do you mess around with animated spell effects and stuff? I saw someone using it in a video with Mage Armor, and I thought it looked really cool. I don't mess around with that stuff. I have stuff built in. So I have what modules? This is not the right one because on the Remnant Foundry I don't have any modules because here we go. Actually, practice shard would be good because I think some of them have spells and stuff we can show off. Be in the token one. If you go into my modules, this one I have automated animations, and ignore all my birdie stuff. Where is it? This one, defreds, convenient effects. Oh, D&D 5e animations, and then dynamic effects using active effects. So if you have those, it just does it for you. Oh, no, it's fine. Yeah, so it just, I did not set anything up. I know somebody here had like bardic inspiration. So if I target these people, use this ability, you can see, you guys can probably hear it too. I'm sorry if it's loud. Oh no, the desktop audio is off. Okay, so it'll automatically do that stuff for us. It's like, I'm not good at targeting right now, but you know, pretend I targeted correctly. Oh, that one didn't have one. So some of them automatically have the stuff on there. So yeah, that's what the automated animations one, this guy, this one. Oh, here. Automated animations. I don't know that you guys can see that because it's teeny tiny. Because I have a big monitor. This guy. It will pretty much set up a lot for you. But you can also customize them. Oh, I have full face cam on. Yes, that doesn't help, huh? Hold on. Here you go. I know how to stream. But yeah, this one, automated animations, that one works without doing anything. So like if we use bardic inspiration here, so he plays a little music and then they get bardic inspiration. So yeah, that one pretty much does it all for you. So highly recommend that one. I don't go in there. Yeah, automated animations, and then there's a whole bunch of other ones that I think it requires. It'll prompt you though when you go to install it. It'll be like, this module requires this, and then you'll just have to install that too. My players will love it, I'm sure, especially the mage. How do you add a token to mine? What do you mean? Be more specific. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. So yeah, pretty boring Friday. But since we're pretty good, we went over some tiles. If you guys have questions or things that you guys want me to go into with Foundry, maybe drop it in the comments, especially if you're watching this in the future. Hi, future. Because I'm always looking for reasons to like do a few more tutorials and like things. Right now I'm working on a module and I got it all set up and I think it's good. I don't know how to share it. I know I need to like zip up the files, but I don't know what to do past that. So I'm struggling. When they cast the spells, they stop. Oh, automated animations stops working. Have you updated recently? I don't touch anything with that. It just automatically works for me and I've never had any issues with it. It's possible that you need to reinstall it. It's also like you could delete the whole folder out of your module's data folder and then reinstall it, and that could help. if you haven't updated, I know they add more effects, and then they also debug during between updates. So that's what I would recommend there. All right. Well, a short stream, 35 minutes, but I will get off now. Otherwise, we might stay here forever as I ramble. But also, I'm hungry. I probably should have ate before stream, but you know, I was like, it's fine. But yeah, so thanks everybody for watching, joining me here. Let me know if there's other small tutorials I can make. I was even thinking like making shorts for some of these things because they're so easy. But they're so easy if you know how to do it. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you just need someone to be like, here, this is how you do it. And I'm happy to be that person. I don't know that I'm an expert at Foundry. I still am like, I don't know. And I have to get in here and fiddle. But, you know, I got all the basics down for sure. But yeah, I will see you guys. And oh, quick, how do I find good compendiums to download as a starter for scenes in Foundry? I'm just starting Foundry. Just picked it up, please. Please do. Yeah, sure. Oh, I have good videos. Thank you, Jim. So good compendiums. I mean, there's no like, I don't know. There's no like resource I could say. There's plenty of people who make maps, who also have them available for Foundry. But there's no like, I don't know. There's not like yeah, Forgotten Realms is good, but it has this particular style, which is why I don't use Forgotten Realms. I tend to like to stick to that DungeonDraft style because I like to make my own maps. And so I want it to kind of look like that. 2 Minute Tabletop has a lot of good maps and stuff. I don't know if they're Foundry VTT like friendly, but there's plenty of people on Patreon. Like, what is that one that everybody talks about? Chapekku or whatever. Is that what? I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. And then I like Birdie's maps. He's a very small creator, but his are all in here. Yeah, like Patreon is probably going to be your best bet for compendiums of scenes. A lot of them will even give some for free, but again, a lot of them are like behind a Patreon wall. Birdie gives a lot of his maps for free, but they won't have the walls and stuff set up. But honestly, it doesn't take that long to do the walls if you're not doing like a city. You know what I mean? Like if it's just one area. I'm sub to Birdie. Yeah, I like Birdie's stuff a lot. You did catch me at the end. I was about to log off, but I was like, well, one more question. Yeah, Chapekku. I'm sure it's like a running joke for them. They have good stuff. I like their style, but again, it's different. I like having all my maps be cohesive. And so because I feel like if you're jumping from style to style, it kind of takes away from the game. Like it's one thing if they're all in that same vein, you know what I mean? Like for one whole session, they're all like Forgotten Realms maps. That's one thing, but it's another thing if you go from like DungeonDraft to Forgotten Realms and that kind of stuff. But yeah, okay. I am logging off now. Stop distracting me, guys. All right. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.